And I'm hitting play right about now. Oh, here we go. I fucked up again. I had to record my audio dialogue separate because well, there's a little button on the amp that I run this microphone through, and I forgot to press it. This is what happens when you're overworked and tired. So, for that, I apologize. As you may recall, we're in a base, and there's us fighting some monsters. Fuck you, bud. Fuck you very much. Welcome to Earth. Yeah. All right, so already feeling good. It's kind of weird because you won't notice this, but I'm recording the audio for this after I've beat the game. I went back through all my footage, and I realized that I've got at least 2 months already lined up, and then I'm editing the last like 10 episodes together. And I beat the game already. I'm not going to tell you how that ends. It ends. Let's just say that. But this is being recorded after I beat the game, so I'm not going to say what happens to who or how. I'm just noticing a lot of names now that have since ceased to be Xenonauts. I'm so sorry, but war never changed. Oh, man. So, base attack is actually a lot harder than you think. Base attack is a hell of a lot harder than you think. Also, I realize I'm going to have a lot of people. God, look at the size of them when that animation goes. Another glitch, but... Oh, yeah. And someone just had an accident. It's unfortunate. But yeah, this game is not easy for people who are like, I'm not going to play that. It's fucking easy. I'd recommend you try it. Also, the other thing that's going to throw some people off is they're going to see the credits go through like 3 or 4 versions while this game goes on. Because it's been months. It's kind of weird. It's kind of really weird. But yeah, fuck you, alien. I blew you into bubblegum on the floor, so suck that. If you hear any mechanical sounds, it's I'm working on a gun at the same time I'm recording the audio for this, which is probably exceptionally poor form. I think it is probably exceptionally poor form because I know a lot of people build a sound booth so they can do this and sit in their little sound booth and sound good. And, you know, I instead will combine my hobbies, such as a Let's Play and some moderate gun work. This is not gunsmithing. This is just maintenance. The breakdown of the Smith & Wesson Model 29. Yeah, I'm not, don't worry. Don't worry, Smith guys, I'm not taking the side plate off. Not today, but that is on my agenda in the next 1,000 rounds. There we go. Oh, she's so good. Right, now, let's put that down for a minute. Let the lubricant I put in there just kind of seep into where she needs to go. Fuck you, welcome to Earth. Fuck you, welcome to Earth. I'm gonna drink my coffee. See, the issue I have with an alien invasion is I think that Earth would be generally as unpleasant to the aliens as you could imagine. I think that is kind of... I don't know. I mean, we have so many examples in our history where we should have lost. We should have had a really bad run. We should have had a fight for our lives. And not only do we win, because, well, one, we're fighting our own species, and who can kill us, but two, humanity tends to bust out, you know, break off all stops when it comes to fighting the foreign devils who confound us. So we tend to come up with really inventive ways of killing the shit out of our fellow man. So I think that aliens would not be a problem. I mean, we got ourselves to the top of the food chain, not through just cleverness, but cleverness and violence. Yeah, I'm recognizing some people that are, yeah, I should probably be quiet on that. I don't want to have people unsubscribe prematurely. I want them to unsubscribe at the appropriate time. Also, could you imagine how fucked up this game would be if you had to actually, fight aliens of this power level early on, where they have like hundreds of hit points, where you have to use a whole belt of ammo on them per guy to kill them with starter weapons? I mean, just, oh my god. Now remember, I was still doing that with the power armor. At a certain point, I'm having front row kneeling, because front row kneeling has never gone out of style, ever. Front row kneeling is the way to fight a war, as I'm sure some of you will know. It worked on the Zulus until Isla Wanda, and then they learned that our guns don't like it when you shoot them more than a few times, and, well, surely, Rourke's Drift and, dreadful. There's Sly Fox with the old bazooka. Pow-pow. Bam! Bazooka man's goddamn like 96 hit points a turn. I know I love watching people try to play this game and then lose their fucking mind, because they will. This game is something that definitely can be aggravating. I mean, it's really hard to beat the good shit of the original XCOM. The original XCOM is something else. The original XCOM is brilliant, and a lot of people don't realize how brilliant the original XCOM is until you compare it to the new XCOM in terms of just mechanics. Don't judge how it looks, don't judge the soundtrack, don't judge any of the artsy-fartsy stuff, just the core content. Look at the mechanics of it. Look at how things are rectified. Look at depth of the game, and you'll find that the original XCOM was an astoundingly huge game in terms of what you could do. Also, the original XCOM made it to where you could very easily fight the aliens the way that Earth would fight the aliens. Very, very easily. I think we would just ultimately start using mass wave tactics. You could do that in the original XCOM. You could definitely do that in the original XCOM, just by going out of your way to give guys satchel charges and charge at the enemy and just blow them to pieces. I mean, shit worked. Viet Cong tactics. And you could have your smarty boys in the back, the guys with the psychic abilities, because you could do the psychic shit back to them, which is where the original XCOM is a lot easier than XenoNauts in some ways. In other ways, it's not as easy. In other ways, it's a lot more difficult. But, you know, I would recommend you play them both. There's also Open XCOM, which I intend to try at some point this year. After this game, I've decided that the next long play is probably going to be Arcanum. And I may also do Jagged Alliance too at the same time. I may not, depends on how busy I am. My real life is very fucking busy, and I'm trying to not make a bajillion hours a week of content. Still gonna have multiple episodes a week, probably. There probably will be multiple episodes a week, because there's gonna be a Space Station 13. I always play Space Station 13. I've always been playing Space Station 13. It's something I've played almost every day since 2011. And before that, I played it sporadically because before 2011, there were a lot of server instabilities. So, because I first started playing that in 2008. So, yeah. But 2011 was when I started playing it pretty much every day. And that's where you saw a lot of servers start to get their shit together and start to do servers where you could play every day, and there was always a round on somewhere and somebody was doing something. I've been recording it since 2011, but very sporadically for the first few years, because I didn't think anyone gave a shit to watch it, and I would watch other people do it who did a better job, and I was really intimidated. It's like, oh man, I can't do that. They're very good at it. And now I'm so at it. Which is bizarre how time changes, I guess. Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely try to get Arcanum, a playthrough or two of that under my belt, because I fucking love Arcanum. And Jagged Alliance 2, at least one playthrough of that. Probably one, because by the time of it I'll probably be pulling my hair out. Modded or not, I haven't decided. It depends on what is ultimately friendly to the camera. What is going to actually be stable enough for me to record over and play long term. And after that, I don't know. But yeah, this year, you're probably going to see this finish, and then you're going to see Arcanum go up. And I'm going to run that all the way to the end. And then after that, I'm going to probably do Jagged Alliance. And I will probably do a total playthrough of one or two other things. Just trying to do some weekly content at least. Because there's going to be Space Station 13, and there's going to be these long plays, because Stream of Consciousness helps me unwind. It sure do. Oh, man. Am I the only person who finds joy, like genuine joy, in gun solvent and oil? The smell of it, the ketones, I think. I don't know. I do not know. It's a curious thing. Ooh, that was bad. That was... Fuck you, aliens. I mean, we did get the first person who blew up, which is unfortunate. Okay, I'll say that. That one is unfortunate, but, acceptable, you know? That one's acceptable. It's the rest that are always unfortunate. Like, that first person getting smacked, the aliens are always going to do that. They're always going to get one over on you. They're always going to pull one over on you. They're always going to get you, at least for one, in a base raid, at least from my humble perspective. But say this much. I think you can get more than one. Well, I can't get. It's not a contest of casualties, Dex. I think that you can get easily a better return on your investiture of manpower. I think you can easily make it through an alien base with minimal casualties if you do what I'm doing, which is make them come to you. And holy shit, I mean, did you see how far that guy advanced? That's nuts. That is fucking nuts. And he can do that every round. Like, that's how those guys get to you, is they have no armor. They're easy to kill, but they can run so fucking far, it's unbelievable. And I am horrified at it. I really am. Someone asked me a question. I'm going to respond to it because, well, if you don't, that makes you rude. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Where it's gonna happen next. Ooh. Cheeky bastard. Now look how big that fucking dude got. And there's another one. Another one bites the dust. Sorry. Yeah, the aliens are, oh god. That's what happens when you bunch up. Stack up. Die. No. Alright, come on. You bastards. Oh. Come on. Annoying. Very annoying. See, this is one. Oh man, that's the other thing. Those fucking alien commanders. God damn it. First time I were running into them. The first time I ever played XenoNauts, I was like, oh, what's this guy? And then they blew up. They blew up my squad. They just blew them to pieces, and I didn't know what to say. I mean, I was horrified. Oh, I'm so lucky. Kill Asitra. Kill! That's right. Tell that guy, find a new planet. This one's taken. Taken by Earth. Yeah, and take that and blow up your fucking pictures of the planet and stuff. We're good at this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Earth. Ba-da-dum, Captain Venus. Everyone's getting murdered. Oh, God. Fucking aliens, man. This is also the issue with this giant in-stage frog monster, guys, is you shoot a guy with like 100 fucking damage, and they're just suppressed. They're really not that badly wounded, and you'll see how many fucking rounds it takes to kill this guy. I mean, it pretty much goes out like Sonny Corleone. You just gotta fucking line him up at a toll booth and cut him to pieces with a Thompson. It's so fucking nasty. Yeah, let's do this. As I remember, everyone just has to fucking load mags. And we just mow down everything in the room trying to get this guy. Pew. You bastard. Yeah, there's that. Uh-huh. Jesus. Fucking. So, Pastamancer died. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. A lot of other people get promoted, though. Oh, and Flying Crowbar. You also have perished. But, look, no more alien bases. This is where I save it because, yeah. This game has a propensity to crash. Which it almost did right there. It almost did. How fucking bad is that? Now I have to add more people in. And get the wounded people back on the team. So, I had to check my list. And here we go. Bob Ross Jr. Happy little accidents. Happy little accidents. And I just, of course, put him on the bullet hose team. And I think I decided to wait a little bit and see if anyone else came off the wounded roster of, like, horrifically wounded Xenonauts. And I look, of course, at my alloys. My precious metals. Gotta look at them. Got me some hover tanks. Got me some hover tanks with the big guns. Hover tanks are alright, but I think in real life a hover tank would be a bad fucking idea, because it'd be like, alright, we got a tank that blows dirt and rocks everywhere, and it's really fucking loud, and it's very easy to see, and it's impossible to camouflage, and if you shoot on the move, it changes where you're driving, and not the most stable. Also, if you drive it over water, it might sink. You would really have to come up with some really decent hover technology. It would have to be, like, really nice hover technology. By the way, if this sounds any better than my normal Let's Play, it's because I'm recording the audio separate in Audacity, which I think I have set at a much higher audio recording rate, and I'm also making a few passes with Audacity to remove, like, the background noise, to clean up all the white noise and shit on it, and hopefully it is a good audio track. I've found that when I record shit separate in Audacity, it sounds great. But when I try to record something live, like if I record just audio on OBS or not audio, or game audio on OBS, and then try to do my dialogue on Audacity and later put it together, I always have problems syncing it up. So this is a huge pain in the ass. But we'll see. We'll see what people think. Because I think you can always develop a system. I really do. System is important. Oh, do you wish to go after the UFOs? Yeah, well, I do the UFO equivalent of Battle of Britain. At a certain point, I think they would just fuck us up. I think the aliens would get really easy kills on us as a species. I think they would fuck us right up. I think it would be effortless. It'd be like sandblasting a soup cracker. Because if you can fold space or time to get here, if you got like hyperspace and shit, I think you're gonna find that we're pretty easy to take out as a species. When you're manipulating enormous amounts of power, when you're like, as you discover in the course of this game, you're dealing with an alien civilization that's like galaxy spanning. You're dealing with a Kardashev scale 2 or 3, leaning toward 3 civilization, and we're not even a 1. Yeah, it's exponentially more power in every possible way. They have enormous amounts of power. They have horrific amounts of power. They have awesome, in the truest sense of the word, amounts of power. And we're just like, we'll poke them with a missile. It's like, no. I think that these guys have like planet eradicating levels of power, and we're just pretending. And the game does hint at that. Like they're humoring us. They have so many resources. It doesn't mean much for us to fight them like this. Even if we win for a year, it doesn't mean anything. Ultimately, we're disposable. We're very, very disposable. And so are their base troops. They're just robots. They're not anything that is of any major issue to lose. I mean, these are all disposable assets. What they're after is a little deeper than that, and the lore of the game kind of gets into it. Oh yeah, so here we go. Here we go again. Now what's really funny is that I've got so many turrets in my base. I have so many fucking turrets in my bases that... Oh, nice. Good shot, kid. Sly Fox, murder them all. But yeah, when it comes down to it, an alien invader, if they've got that level of power, you lose. I mean, you lose. There's no other way around it. You're gonna get smoked. If they have the physical power to destroy, well, I mean, you have to understand that these guys have been destroying civilizations on their way to you. Wiping out a civilization is just a matter of paperwork. It's kind of like one of the things that Douglas Adams got into, where he's talking about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You have, you ultimately have have Earth being wiped out for a construction project. Nobody really thinks much about it. And any plea to save it is ultimately futile because, well, your planet's not that unique. And I think that that's how it kind of would be, is they would look at us like, oh, well, we just need X off your planet. We don't care about anything else. So if they can destroy a planet, if they can destroy a civilization by just, using a few weapons, like the Reapers or what have you, I think that we would be comically easy to absolutely annihilate as a species. I think it would be game over, pal. And it would be catastrophically embarrassing. I don't think we'd be able to put up much of a resistance at first if they decided to do something serious. But if they had rules, if they had the least amount of rules or the least amount of mercy, I do think we would come up with something. If they hesitated just for an instance, because I do think that the war that is measured in hours, like you have in Half-Life, where the Combine just shows up and proceeds to beat wholesale ass. I think that is very, very realistic to how an alien invasion would go for us. I mean, we would get smoked. But if they decided not to push in all the advantages they had, or if they had problems adjusting to our environment, or if they couldn't accomplish their objectives, I think in very, very short order, you would see we as a civilization proceeding with full dickery operations, and we would be able to turn the tide very quickly. I think that we would absolutely do fucked up shit to draw even. We'd be like, all right, what are the worst biological weapons we got? Let's weaponize all the diseases. Okay. Let's cobalt seed all these bombs. Okay. Let's, nuclear winter the planet. See if they can stand the cold. I mean, I think we would just, it would be a humanity fuck yeah thread. It is how this would end. And for those of you who remember those, God bless you. For normies discovered sub-TG. Ugh. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about, but there are now YouTube channels that have their whole living. They make a living off of basically, they make their whole living like reading archive threads from the TG board of 4chan. They didn't write any of the content, they just read someone else's. And so to understand how weird this is imagine if you found out someone in your hometown had written a book on poetry maybe 20 years ago, and it was published in maybe 500 copies or whatever out there, and then someone else comes along and starts reading that book of poetry and kind of claims that they created it, and then didn't credit the original author, and then just used it for financial gain. I think that's kind of shitty. But we've reached an age where people are running out of stuff to do that's unique on YouTube. I mean, there's videos that are very popular of people like popping pimples and blackheads. There's videos on YouTube on how to take care of cast iron. There's videos on YouTube on how to iron pants, pleated and non-pleated. And there's videos on YouTube on what would happen if You know, use this instead of that as lubricant in your automobile. There's videos on YouTube. What if you use this instead of that on lubricant and other matters? And I look at it and I realize that, you know, we've reached an age where they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're trying to get anything they can to be unique, and it's going to be really interesting as time goes on, because I think you'll find that it's going to be exceptionally difficult to be unique as more and more and more people just try to make content. It becomes very saturated. I think Emperor Lemon on his channel put it well, where he said that right now, in terms of YouTube content, you go down the road and there's a Burger King, and across the street from it is a McDonald's, and then further down the road there's 10,000 other burger joints that are all exactly the same. Who do you think is going to sell more hamburgers? Well, probably the names you know. And everyone else is, well, if they're all the same, no one's going to see them or go there or anything. They'll just fail. So it's going to get kind of strange, as, you know, there's so many content creators. What's going to be unique anymore? I mean, people are dragging the ground. Now, I noticed I took a bunch of people off the squad. The reason I did this is not because I hate them. The reason I did this is because I'm putting a tank in there, and I named it Turbo Tank. And Turbo Tank is a hell of a tank. Now I'm putting people back in because I didn't realize that Turbo Tank had that many people in it. Alright, well done us. Begin mission. Yes. Yes, indeed, begin mission. Ground combat loading. And when it takes any longer than it should, I really get nervous in this game. Alright. Notice how everyone's been overcome with dread? That's not because they're having a good time. That's because there's something here that will cause them to lose their mind. Now, did you see that, where it kind of stuttered for a second? She's getting a little bit unstable. Security guard, they're minding his own business. Now you just put a guy on the roof if you want to look around. Including your bazooka mans. Rocket Man, burning up his wick up here alone. I think that's the lyrics. It's gonna be a long, long time to do-do-boom, ba-do-ba-do-do-doom. Rocket Man, da, blah, 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 Rocket Man. What happened in that Let's Play you're watching? Well, the guy started singing Rocket Man, and then he put a guy on the roof. He put a guy on the roof after saying Rocket Man. He just Rocket Man'd. Now, you see all these guys with guns that are giant and enormous, and they're wearing all their armor, which is giant and enormous, and it seems like they're impervious. You will find that this is not true. You will find that now they're in trouble. And you'll know they're in trouble because they have some issues. And those issues are the aliens are coming and they're going to eat their face. This is some bad stuff. I am confused at the notion of an alien invasion fleet having, let's see. How should I put this? Why would they even use people that required food? Or could experience fear? Or could get sick? I think it would be pretty much Trade Federation. You'd see a shitload of aliens, and they would be up in their UFO, and they'd be having a kegger, doing a fucking party, sitting around, tossing drinks back. You know, having a good old time. Like, just fucking getting liquored up, and relaxing and shit. And then they would press a button on a display. And oh my god. Goodbye. See? That's how rough that is. Thank God. But yeah, you would see them press a button, and they would just release a cloud of fucking infantry drones down to the planet that probably wouldn't even need a transport. They just hit the ground and unfold into murdering spider bots that detect fear and shoot it with lasers. Just detect fear and private parts and shoot them with lasers. Pretty fucking metal. But you know, the aliens are bad people, and I think we all knew that. Ugh, well, somebody's gone. Anyways. Wouldn't be a XenoNauts Let's Play unless someone had died. But Turbo Tank's got him. Not really. He's trying. He's really trying. You know, I think my alien fighting weapon of this time period is I'd have a ZSU or a ZSU 57 for urban fighting, or a ZSU 23-4 for not city fighting. Well, maybe for city fighting. I mean, just tracer ammo and incendiaries and explosive and all the other shit they put in those belts, and that are you know, a 113 with the 20 mil anti-aircraft Vulcan on it. I don't mean the live long and prosper one. I mean the Burt. And yeah. Ideally, what I'd do is I would engineer a tank for city fighting versus the aliens that was a GAU-8 Avenger on like an Abrams chassis, and it would have a flamethrower as well, and you would just go around and a bulldozer blade, and you just push through, and you have some sensors to where you can detect heat, and you can also detect motion. And you just fuck them up. That's what you do. Oh, man. See, having the people fly around can be nice, but then sometimes you can forget about them and they're just up there, like, hanging their ass out. But as soon as those dudes fly, you've basically got AWACS, which is how you're supposed to use them, I think. And what sucks is, like, halfway through the game, you can get guys that have jump packs, but they have almost no armor. So you'll do that, and they'll fly up there, and the aliens will shoot them once, and they just explode. And those are terrible. These ones have armor, and they're basically they've got a really cool like 360 view, which is nice. So handy compared to the armor before that has no view. As you can see, the game's a little glitched. The floor is missing, but fuck that car. Oh, and the game stuttered, and it's there. It's still there. Good, good, good. So, yeah. Fuck you, car. Fuck you, alien. Yeah. War never changes, you little bitch. Oh, God. You know, at this point, we would just go nuts. I mean, I like the idea of fighting aliens just en masse. I think that's kind of what would happen. You'd have the National Guard guys already on alert, so you just have truck after truck after truck of weekend warriors showing up with machine guns surrounding the aliens and blocking off all the roads with, you know, police. And then you would just drop in platoon after platoon after platoon of special forces and just go right at them. I mean, especially during the Cold War, where you just have so many fucking people at your disposal. You've been gathering munitions, weapons, and troops forever for this purpose. I mean, why not? Why not use them in a way that is beneficial to mankind? And by that I mean World War III. So, yeah, Sly Fox has become unnerved because there's no floor and he's standing on air. And he's resisting being exploded by, Pac-Man bullets. Look at this guy. He's just running around. Oh, God, my box warehouse. Amazon.com, the early days. All them boxes. I remember when I first heard of Amazon.com in like the late 90s. I logged on to my shitty dial-up internet and I got an Amazon account, and I had to pay my parents like $30 of my money so I could use their card because I wanted to buy a book, and I had heard that Amazon had all these deals on books, and I was like, an online bookstore? That's dumb. And because that's all they used to do is like books and CDs. And so I found the book I was looking for. And I was like, cool. And I ordered it. And they said, your book will be there in 2 weeks. And I thought, wow, that's great. And then the book never showed up. And I was fucking pissed. I was pissed. And so the guy, Bezos, had an email account, and I remember writing him like this long nasty email like, fuck you piece of shit. And I mean, I was mad because it was a lot of money for me back then, and I needed my fucking book. It was a good book I wanted, and I you know, he never delivered it. I never got that fucking book, and I told Amazon like 100 times, you never delivered it. And they're like, yeah, we did. I said, no, you didn't. And they're like, yeah, we did. I said, you never gave me my fucking book. And they're like, well, we don't have that book. And I'm like, well, you sold it to me. And they're like, no, we didn't. I tried to go back through the years to try to find out if you could even look at the old, like 90s era orders. And they're not on there. So my word against theirs, but they never gave me my fucking book. And I remember that when I didn't have a lot of money. And I'm an Amazon Prime guy, and I thought about raising stink over that, because with as much as I work, Amazon Prime makes sense. I also like Man in the High Castle, one of the reasons why I got it. But the other is routinely I have to buy shit off Amazon because of well, one, I do buy a lot of books, but two, there's a lot of stuff that normally I'll just buy off Amazon, like, oh, I need a new waffle iron. I would rather buy it off Amazon, have it shipped for free with that Prime thing, and it comes out to cheaper and less time intensive than having to go out and, you know, buy it manually. So, still, I feel kind of hollow. Because I remember when they took my money and they didn't give me my fucking book. I wrote that asshole and I was like, hey, you treat people like this, you'll never amount to nothing. And now he's rich as fuck. shows I don't know shit. I do not know shit. The only thing I know is that I know nothing. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. Fucking trying to do space tourism and you won't even fucking deliver a book. You asshole. You cheated me out of money when I was poor. What a dick. Yeah, see, there's one I missed. He was hiding. He was a sneaky boy, and he was gonna show up and blow my tank to pieces. Look at that. Fucking... You can just show up with a fucking tank, and they live through it. They just fucking live through it. Sly Fox, bazooka that man. Bow! Handled! Just using that jetpack because he can. I mean, I would. Oh god, if I had a jetpack, I would walk anywhere. Be like Baron Harkonnen. Just trolling around with feet dangling in the air. Speaking of sci-fi, now, I'm not sure if you've read the new Dune stuff, the newer Dune stuff. I should say newer, because, I mean, shit, they started writing those a long time ago by modern standards. But I mean, the newer Dune stuff is incredibly different than the original Herbert stuff. And the difference that I like to tell people is that the original Dune stuff is a lot like a fine port. It's complex and bold and rich and powerful, striking, satisfying. And the newer Dune stuff is like chili cheese fries. And while they're both good for their own reasons and their own ways, they certainly don't belong on the same plate or in the same evening. I was greatly offended when I read those prequel novels after reading the originals. It made me angry. I mean, I was angry. Very angry. All right. And we wait. And we wait. Fucking aliens and their goddamn UFO. I know I've talked a lot about not UFO. Talked a lot about everything else. I think that if the algorithm is doing voice to text and it's looking at what people are saying, or looking at what I'm talking about on this Let's Play, it probably thinks I'm having a stroke, or that it's probably in many ways lost its total mind. It's probably sitting there going like, what is this bozo talking about? Why, what is going on? Why is going on? It's probably saying stuff like, me hate, me confuse, human destroy Earth, question mark, and, you know, some other stuff. Oh, and that guy's under alien control, so, you know, he's about to get the Emperor's justice. Alright. Room of spinning engine thing. The spinning engine. Fuck you, alien. Fuck you, man. That's the issue. When the, if you dawdle on the alien battleship assaults, if you fuck up for just a second, they'll mind control your dude. They will run up and they will shoot you in the dick. In short order, those are the events. Those are the events that will happen. They will mind control your dude, they will run up, and they will shoot you in the dick. And at this point in the game, that can be fairly catastrophic. And the game had a moment of instability. It does happen. Don't worry, I'm still here. I'm still here with you. I'm still here with you. Just hold on. Hold on and listen to the sound of my voice. I think we'll be alright. Possibly. Time will tell, won't it? Unless it really died this time. In which case, well, what a coinky-dink. How unfortunate. And god damn it. God damn you! And I fixed it. I fixed it because I'm good at things. Except now that someone's mind controlled, well, sometimes bad things happen to good people. And this is one of those. So yeah, on the battleship raids, you gotta not fuck up. Because the alien mans will do bad things. And they will take over your brain bits, and they will force you to shoot your friends in the mouth. Which is unfortunate. That is not what should happen, because your friends should remain non-involved on the shooting of your face or your mouth holes. You'll find that is really harmful to your professional ability to carry out your day-to-day job. Getting shot in the face is generally harmful. You'll find it certainly curtails things. So, once again, we're all learning together. And I think that just by learning a little bit about what we do, we can be a little more effective, can't we? All right. Bob Cove is under alien control. When someone's under alien control, what you should do is just leave. I've found that helps. Just say no to alien brain parasites and leave. Just don't stick around. It's not worth it. And he dies. That's what you get. Now, the top floor of these things can always be a shit show, because sometimes I've gotten up here, and there's a Reaper or two waiting for me, and at that point, you have an owie or an uh-oh waiting to happen. Or, if you're really, really in a bad spot, that alien commander is just gonna start fucking meat puppeting your guys around, and you're gonna get murdered. You're gonna get really, really murdered. And anytime any of your people get puppeted, you just have to run. Because the alien commander is a dick. And he will, oh my god, look at how big that fucker is. God damn it. Alright, see it says alien turn. There's 4 of them in close proximity. And sometimes you'll see them not kill you like there. That's rare. And then sometimes you'll see that they will kill you. Sometimes they will do exactly that. Kill. Yeah, that's what you get. Welcome to Earth, bitch. Get some. This is how everyone assumes that their round of Colonial Marines is going to go. They assume they're just going to kill a bunch of aliens and win. That never, ever happens. I would love to see a... I would love to see a Space Station 13 server that was XCOM. I know that would be pretty fucking funny. Especially if they get sent out to random missions and the aliens... Every 20 minutes there was a new random mission that they had to do. And the aliens would have to... The aliens would have to, you know, be people who are waiting to join the round. They suddenly get to be an alien, and the alien commander gets to choose what they get. And yeah, that would be fucking funny. It would end in disaster, but it would be fucking funny. Disaster. I don't know why the aliens have such enormous aliens and such little chairs. There's their commander. The enormous gun that shoots beams the size of pool noodles. Oh, yeah, see, I just shot that thing that contained a black hole and it blew up. That's kind of what I came down here to capture, and it's gone forever now, so that's a my bad. And that's also a my stupid. You'll find that as a common theme in this. Now this alien commander, if he can get a line of sight on you, you die. And that's pretty much it. Just gonna throw a little bit of goofy gas and hope that discourages them. It really doesn't, because they just don't give a fuck. See, there they are, fucking commander. So the idea is lean out and gat him. Just lean out and give him the, you know, just give him that little click-clack of justice. And, yeah, if you can double tap with a 44 Magnum, you are boss level wrist strength. Now, some people say this gun will fucking break your wrist. I used to shoot a 44 Magnum like hundreds of rounds at a time. Enough where I shot 2 different guns completely out of timing. But, yeah. Oh, and there he goes. Yeah, see? Garon Skin and Ruben Augustus. I'm sorry. But war frequently changes. Oh, God, what a rough run. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-dum-bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah. No, my base is that it's laughable if the aliens manage to actually land anything at any of these bases, because they have so many mag guns that I don't think anything can get through. But if they can get through, it's going to be so horrifically diminished in terms of number of people that you're going to end up with garbage. Everyone is just going to die, and that'll make me happy. You can't touch the ground. The ground floor is lava. Oh, so you need that alien singularity core. You need that man-portable black hole. SR-71, or really A-12 at this point, because it's a weaponized version, but it's, yeah, you just build these singularity bombs, and you put it on that thing, and it drives up to the target at 5 clicks a second, and blows them to pieces. I mean, holy shit. No, I think it's like 5,000 kilometers an hour is the speed. It's a rather robust vehicle for aerial defense. I guess something like that would be engaging them, like, as they come from space, you know. And at this point, I'm fucking up anything that enters my territory. As it should be. As it should be. Oh, yeah. UFO 467. Auto-resolve. I cast murder. Yeah, cool. Town strafe. Oh, man. War never changes, but it sure makes a profit. Look at all this fucking money. Oh, yeah. Just quartermaster there smoking the cigarettes with a full head of hair. See, this is where you just line your defenses with all the mag guns. Why? Because fuck you, aliens. This is my planet, and I aim to keep it. There we go. And here they come. Again. Just fighting these assholes back. Becomes really relentless after a while, but fuck it. Also, I think it would be kind of cool to have an insignia on a plane for shot down UFOs. I know there's that meme where it shows the 88 crew with that UFO. I don't think that's a UFO. I think that's Photoshop. And if it isn't Photoshop, I think it's them drawing something else on there. But again, people did have a sense of humor back then. But flying saucer craze wasn't really until that really golden age of science fiction. And Roswell, of course. But Roswell was more the result of, well, that's a whole nother story. Because what's really strange is that there is a genuine study of UFOs. There is a genuine study of trying to identify unidentified things that may or may not be flying around, that may or may not have been spotted, and whether or not these are advanced aircraft or whatever, that's something that bears critical examination. And then there's people who you read them going, yes, I was abducted. Yes, they stole my baby. Yes, my baby grew up on another planet for 5 years, and then they brought him back, and he is the ambassador to my people. And you go, I think you are full of shit. Or crazy, or both. You find some really interesting stories out there. Now, I'm not saying everybody who's claimed anything is full of shit just because I am a skeptic, but I think that, you know, they tried to investigate these quite formally, and they found out that most of it was people who didn't know what they were talking about, and the rest of it was explainable phenomena. Oh, no, see, he's got to get his armor back. Johnny Mac. All right. Now, there were some cases where they were like, this is really an unidentified flying thing. And this bears examination, or that these people do not appear to be crazy, and they obviously have some reasonable cause to be believed, and with the evidence given thus far, we are inclined to believe their story. And that's fine. Those are the ones I want to investigate. But the problem is it just gets completely buried in horse shit. Like, there could be some genuine evidence of some really neat stuff going on, and it's, of course, concealed behind the equivalent, I guess, of Tumblr people, you know, wanting to feel very important. That's kind of the issue in history, is you'll find people who were there and actually saw the thing and the event, and that becomes really important to track down those sources of information, and then you find a lot of people who wish they were there, wish they were important, so they start doing, adding their own narratives to things, and then things get a little foggier. So here I am on a farm defending the corn. Get wrecked, alien scrub. It's always bazooka time, by the way. Always. Pew, pew. Yeah. Once again, I do apologize for not recording this at the same time. It just means there's more time for me to ramble. And ineloquently at that ramble. I do apologize for all that. I think that's poor form. But I think that, hey, accidents happen. And I am one of those accidents. Fucking alien, man. He's just being a dick, you know? Like, he's being a bad man. Being a very bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, ooh, get some... Yeah, look at that. Look how lucky that fucker is. That's my luck in this game. And in life in general, but mainly in this game. Alright, here we go. Their little fucking UFO. Or my massively over-armored death squad, my death troopers, marching up to just give them a little bit of TLC. Give them a little bit of love. Just gonna show up and give them a big old hug and a kiss. Zippity-doo-dah. Knock knock. Earth's here. Good job, Sly Fox. Oh my god, I shot through my own person. And it being the number 3 person on that roster shows that it was probably one of the important ones. That's what can happen in this game when you feel important and you don't realize that you can die at any time for any reason. It's tragic and hilarious. Fuck you, Zorthax the Destroyer. You're a bad man. You're just wearing a t-shirt. That's what you get. It just shows that even on something that's a milk run, I end up getting my ass kicked because of my own incompetence, shooting through someone. You're gonna see a lot of people die in this for a lot of very stupid reasons. But hey, that's how you know this isn't a gimmicky Let's Play. This is one run by someone who's very, very smart. Why, I've seen every episode of Rick and Morty twice. God, the fan base almost killed that fucking show. You just cringe. Like, holy God levels of cringe. Got you, bitch? Sorry, Isidra. Sorry. Should have tried harder. But I didn't. You should always be aware that just when you think I've got competence, I decide to take a bath with a toaster. I should not be trusted. I should not be trusted with heavy equipment. Just sending everything up. It's like Battle of Britain. All right, boys. Cabbage crate coming over the briny. I say, those Jerrys will never know what hit them, yes? Look at all those fuckers. I mean, it shows that there's like 20 dudes in each of these things, but this is where this episode ends. Upvote and subscribe at your own peril, and stay tuned. Stay tuned next time, viewers. Oh, yeah. Next time.